Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Ladyjaay here, and today we're gonna do a video just on how I do my eyebrows. So I thought that you guys were probably wondering how does she do bloopers, how does she get her eyebrows, or how does she do her eyebrows. So this is just going to be a brief tutorial on how I do my eyebrows. You guys can follow along if you like, but basically it's just a couple easy steps that I use, and just go ahead and just do them with a pencil. Sometimes I do them with a pencil, sometimes I use the Precise Brow pencil. I don't know if you guys can see this pencil here. I use this by Benefits Cosmetics. I use this right here, but I got this pencil as a trial, and it's a very small one, but I'm gonna go back and get the bigger pencil because I really like it, because it gives me nice thin fine strokes. But since I'm just about out of this, I'm going to be using this pencil, this dark brown pencil here by NYX. I'm possibly going to be using this brush right here. This is a angle brush, really, that gives you the best precision eyebrows that you can possibly get if you use an angle brush. And guys, you basically want this brush to be thin so that you can have a nice clean line. So I'm going to be using this. I'm also going to be using the Colorpop No Filter Concealer. And you want to use a concealer at the top of your brows for as close as your skin color. I also have this too, Pro Concealer in Fawn. I'm going to be using that as well. I have a toothbrush that I use to brush my eyebrows up with. And then for the concealer up under my eyes, I'm basically going to be using this brush right here to go up under my eyes right here, just to carve them out. So yeah, I thought that I would just come and let you guys see how I do my eyebrows. So let's get started. So first of all, I'm going to use the toothbrush to brush my eyebrows up. As you guys can see, they're not very heavy eyebrows. I've always had very thin eyebrows. They're very sparse. And if I did not put eyebrow pencil on them, you probably wouldn't even see them. So yeah, I'm just giving a good brushing into the shape that I want. And I've never had my eyebrows threaded. I heard that it really hurts. It's kind of intense, but I'm not for all that kind of pain. So either I'm going to get them waxed, or most times I just do them myself at home. So yeah, so here we go. So I don't start here. I basically start my line all the way out here. So this is how I do this. And I just follow the natural curve of my eyebrows, how they naturally are. So once I put that pencil on, I try to go over it to even it out with this angle brush. And then I go slightly here in the center. And then I basically brush that color all the way to the outer edge of how far I want my eyebrows to reach. So if this line is not quite straight, I just basically carve it out with the concealer. So let's finish up with this one. Now, I do have the Anastasia brow pomade in chocolate here, but I'm basically out of it, so I'm just using what I have. But I wanted to do this eyebrow tutorial, and so I'm using basically what I have. Now you see how this kind of comes down. I really don't want that. I want that line to go all the way out like that. So I'm slightly bringing that line out towards the center, And I'm going to use a little bit of the dip brow to define this outer line right here. And that's where your angle brush comes in at with the pomade. So okay. So now I have that line out. Now what I'm going to do is work on the upper edge of this and to bring all of this down together. So I'm just going to use the product that's already on the brush, and I'm going to do these hair-like strokes. And I'm working on the upper line, just like that. Now, if I want a high arch, I basically just put my pencil like this and go to like the center of my eye like this, and this will tell me where I need to bring my product down on my eye. So let's go back in. So I kind of just let my brush actually do all the work. And so now I want, hold on guys. Sorry about that guys, my battery was running out and I was like, the camera is stopping. It's like low battery, so yeah, I had to go get my charger and to plug this phone back up so I can videotape this. So as you can see, so far we have a natural arch of how high I want my arch to be. And so I just basically used the product that I already had on my brush. And I use that for the outer edge of my arch. So let's just finish up. So now I'm gonna take that product that I already had on my brush and pull it out. I don't want to go real far. I don't want my line to come all the way down here. I want it to stop exactly where my wing liner ends, which is right here. So I'm going to do this. This tells me where I need to stop with my line for my eyebrows right here. So I need to pick up a little bit more product to fill this in. So I'm going to go back to the pencil here that we used earlier, and I'm going to fill this in. So guys, I'm just saying this is how I do my eyebrows. Now you guys can do your eyebrows however you want. Some actually do not like the eyebrows this thick, but actually this is called the Instagram eyebrow, because it's a little, you know, full. And so I usually like mine like this, a little full. I really don't care too much for it to be too thin. I basically like my eyebrows like this. So yeah, so now I'm going to just do some brush-like strokes towards the center, just like that. I'm going to mimic the hairs that's already there on my eyebrows. And any mistake that you make, like on the corner, see how that's still kind of fat, excuse me, you can basically just use your concealer to carve that out, which is what we're going to do. So I take my two brush necks and then I just brush that out so that it can just look natural. And I just, if I rub too much, and you can use your fingers, but basically when you use your concealer, that's going to take all of that away. But I try to have it as close to possible as I possibly can before I put the concealer on. So yeah. So now we're going to start on this one. And I generally like to keep a little makeup wipe or paper towel, so because basically I do not want to go into the end part of this eyebrow just yet. I just want to try to do from here and draw my line. So yeah, so I'm gonna bring that line all the way out like I did with this one. I'm gonna pull that because I only wanted to stop here. Remember, we only wanted to stop there. So now I'm just gonna fill that in by doing the top line with hair-like strokes. And guys, you know, no two eyebrows are gonna look alike because they're not twins, they're sisters. So yeah, so I always do one really good, and then the other one basically gets kind of jealous because it's like I don't look like that one. But hey, it is what it is. And so now I'm pulling this line all the way out, and I'm going to use again these strokes. Only then do I go in towards the inner part when I'm doing these strokes right here. So let's get this one right over here. We can use a little bit more work. Because you want them to look as natural as possible. So I'm going to use the toothbrush. Brush that out. So far so good. I'm going to take this brush again, this angle brush, and I'm going to just clean it up just a little bit more so that both lines can actually meet. Because see, this one could come down a little longer. And I'm just saying, guys, this is just how I do my eyebrows. Because everybody has their own way of doing their eyebrows. Everybody have their own look of how they want their eyebrows to look. But this is just my look, how I do it. See, now to me, this one is perfect. But when you look over here, I have too much here. So I'm going to have to either get the concealer and clean that up. But I always have one that's just so perfect. And it's always this one here. Why, I do not know, but it is. It's always this one. Hold on a sec, guys. I have to do something right quick. Okay, I'm back. Did I say who I was? I'm Ladyjaay, and this is another video brought to you by Ladyjaay, a quick eyebrow tutorial on how I do my eyebrows. So here, getting back to the eyebrows, I have to clean that off a little bit, but do I want to do it with the concealer, or do I just want to try to fix it up right now as best I can and then go on with the concealer, which I think I want to just try to clean it up a little bit more. Yeah, and this part here, I'm just gonna clean up with the concealer. So let's just finish up. And I'm using just little hair-like strokes to mimic my own eyebrows. Why do I keep saying eyelashes? Eyebrows. Okay, so basically, we're just kind of ready to get started with the concealer. Another thing too, guys, we don't want any translucent eyebrows, so we want to fill that in. If you have your pencil or your pomade that you're using, whichever one you choose, you can just kind of fill that in so that you don't have any clear spots or translucent skin on the edges, because this is the main part that really defines, so you want that to be right. So I'm going to just take this pencil and just fill that in. Okay. Next, I'm going to use actually this Colorpop right here to go underneath and carve out my eyebrows. So I'm going to be using this brush here, because you want to use a flat brush that's precise so that you can get in the corners and the curves of your eyebrows. So, this is where the tricky part comes in, because you really want to do this right. So I'm going to start here. See how that goes? That's giving me like a straight line, and I can get rid of all of that extra that I put here. So I'm just using very light strokes to carve that out. So I need a little bit more. Okay. So now it looks like I have a cleanup, that my eyebrows are nice and clean and arched, and you just basically just want to drag that concealer all the way down. Once you've achieved your line. Once I've done that, I take the concealer and I'm just pulling this all the way down. I'm pulling it all the way down. So now my eyebrows look more precise, more defined. So it should look something like this. Just like that. And I'm just going to sweep it all the way out, because I can clean up the rest later. Just take that extra tail off that I had on there. Okay, now I'm going to go on top of my line, well, my brows here, with the closest color to my skin, and this is in fawn. I'm going to go on top of those brows. So I'm going to take this brush, I'm going to wipe it off with a paper towel. I'm going to take my fawn and I'm going to squeeze some of this color onto this brush so that I can go over the top of my brows to carve it out. So let's do that. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go on the edge of this outer brow, the tail, and I'm going to clean it up just like that. There's really basically nothing to it, really. And I'm just using little strokes just to clean that up. And I'm just going to go right there. And you can turn your brush up this way. Can you guys see that? Basically, you want to turn your brush up like this. If you can't seem to get it sideways, like just around the curve of this brow, I like to use the flat part. But the other side, I try to go just straight across. Just like that, and then I just go over the top of it. Just like that. And that's how I do my eyebrows. So we're going to go on the other side. We're going to take the Colorpop that we started out with first, this color for the underneath. We're going to take our towel, paper towel, and wipe your brush clean. You're going to take some of the Colorpop and you're going to start underneath your other brow. So let's do this one. And guys, don't worry if you mess up. You can always go back and get your pencil and go right back over what you did before. Because sometimes the concealer, if you don't have a steady hand, the concealer can get all the way on your eyebrows and you're like, oh man, I done messed up again. So yeah, just take your time. I'm just basically letting the concealer do its job. I tell you, it took me a long time to perfect this. It took me practice to learn how to do my own eyebrows, because I used to admire all the ladies in the magazines. Their eyebrows was like on fleek, and I'm like, man, how do they do that? So I said, well, you know, I'm gonna look at a few videos and just take some lessons, and sometimes in my spare time I just practice, and so I'm not an expert at it yet, but I think I do pretty good, you know, so far. So yeah. Because it doesn't come overnight. See, and I'm just nice little strokes. Nice little strokes. Now I'm gonna work that across. Work that concealer down. And I'm gonna brush it all the way out to the outer edge. If I have some here, I'm just gonna do this, you know, and then I check to see how even everything is. This one seems to be perfect. And this one seems like, I don't know, like it could be maybe a little bit longer, the tail. But I can just take my pencil and pull that tail down to the same exact length that this one is. So yes, so there we go. So I'm going to take this angle brush. Remember this is going to be really your best friend right here. Angle brush, a real good angle brush is basically your best friend when you're doing your eyebrows, because it makes the lines so precise, so nice. So that's going to be your best friend. You just want to keep a really good angle brush. Okay, now I think we got it. What do you guys think? This side versus this side. You guys tell me which one is the best one that you like best, because remember I told you they're not sisters. I mean twins, they just sisters. So let's go over the top of our brows. And I'm going to wipe that brush off again with my paper towel. And then I'm going to put some of the Fawn LA Girl Concealer to go over the top. This brush I got, it's an e.l.f. brush, and it was very, very flat. And I said I can really use this to, you know, carve out my eyebrows. I've had it for quite a while. So I'm going to go on top. And I'm going to use the flat part to go around that curve. Just like that. And I'm going to carve it out just how I like it. So, and I'm going to go on the top, just like that. And we basically have, and I look to see if there's any imperfections. One is all the way, if one brow is all the way up here, and the other one is all the way down here, but they look pretty much even except for this little corner here. And I can just take my angle brush and do a little swipe over that to make that okay. So I'm using this brush again just to make sure everything stands up even. I'm going to do this side because I'm missing this corner very lightly so that they are even. So it seems like they are. Maybe I could you know, go in here a little bit more with the concealer just to bring that back out a little bit, or I can just basically just do this right here. Just like that. And so once we finish with that, you can just take your brush and just basically just go over everything. Sometimes I take this concealer brush with the product already on it, and I will just go in to this part right here very lightly so that, you know, they don't look so boxy, to get some of the color a little translucent. So there you have it, guys. This is how I do my eyebrows, and I thought that I would just share this with you. So there you have it. And if I have any little markings like down here, like where my glasses, I always seems to have these little spots here on my nose from the glasses being here. So I just take a little bit of the Fawn concealer and just go over it. try to remove these little marks here, because these are my reading glasses, and they always leave a mark right here. So, guys, this is the end of our tutorial of my Simply eyebrow tutorial. This is how I do my eyebrows, and I hope you guys kind of learned something from it. But yeah, so there you have it. Ladyjaay's simple eyebrow tutorial. Thanks guys for stopping in again. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to even look at this video. But I just thought I would just share this little video with you. It's not very long, but thanks for stopping in. This is how I do my eyebrows. Okay, see you in the next video. Ladyjaay. Bye. And I'm using just little hair-like strokes to mimic my own eyebrows. Why do I keep saying eyelashes? Eyebrows. Okay, so basically, we're just kind of ready to get started with the concealer. Another thing too, guys, we don't want any translucent eyebrows, so we want to fill that in. If you have your pencil or your pomade that you're using, whichever one you choose, you can just kind of fill that in so that you don't have any clear spots or translucent skin on the edges, because this is the main part that really defines, so you want that to be right. So I'm going to just take this pencil and just fill that in. Okay. Next, I'm going to use actually this Colorpop right here to go underneath and carve out my eyebrows. So I'm going to be using this brush here, because you want to use a flat brush that's precise so that you can get in the corners and the curves of your eyebrows. So, this is where the tricky part comes in, because you really want to do this right. So I'm going to start here. See how that goes? That's giving me like a straight line, and I can get rid of all of that extra that I put here. So I'm just using very light strokes to carve that out. So I need a little bit more. Okay. So now it looks like I have a cleanup, that my eyebrows are nice and clean and arched, and you just basically just want to drag that concealer all the way down. once you've achieved your line. Once I've done that, I take the concealer and I'm just pulling this all the way down. I'm pulling it all the way down. So now my eyebrows look more precise, more defined. So it should look something like this. Just like that. And I'm just going to sweep it all the way out, because I can clean up the rest later. Just take that extra tail off that I had on there.